This is a 4-shot stitch with at least a third overlap. So these trees are a half mile away. I'm only at 70 millimeters and I shot 4 overlapping shots of about a third, but then I cropped out about 25% of the photo, and we're only at 5% right now. So look at this. I mean, seriously, watch this. 5%, 6%, 8%, 12. Now, when you get to 25%, this is really what the detail is going to look like. But we could go to 50% and look at that. This is just with a little touch of sharpening. And you can see every leaf in this tree. And you can see these are full inches. A 10-foot by 8.5-foot print. So if we start over here, literally seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 10 inches to this tree, 10 inches of this print. Now you're looking at about 15 inches of 10 feet. Now we're at 20 inches. Look at the detail. Absolutely astonishing detail. It was about 330 megapixels with the superior pixel shift. Wasn't even the best lens. And you can see every single leaf. I only used one very simple, pretty much primitive sharpening approach. I could have used all kinds of custom sharpening and dialed it in perfectly. But what I'm seeing is absolutely astonishing in the detail. I mean, if there was a bear right here, you'd see it, you'd see its eyes, you'd see its hair. And now we're at about 60 inches. So we're halfway, 5 feet across the print. We're going across, and here's the light hitting the trees and the bushes. And this is just absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. Natively, it's about a 60-inch print. Actually, it was 65 inches. And the detail there was just so ridiculous. One of the absolute best files I've ever seen, going head to head and actually beating any Hasselblad or Phase or any camera system I've ever seen in my life. Now there's a little bit of wind in some of these bushes, and because the pixel shift with Panasonic Lumix S1R gives you 3 stops back in ISO. I shot this at 50 ISO. I could have shot it at 400 or 800 ISO. 800 would go to 400, 200, 100. So I would have completely sharp trees, no movement at all, where there's just a little bit of wind in some locations. And literally 10 feet by 8 feet print. And if I pull back just a little bit, you just see the detail is impeccable. Pull back a little bit more, detail is absolutely impeccable. There's not a speck of noise. One of the best photo files I've ever seen in my entire life, and I could have shot it with a much better lens. And I could have actually shot this in like 10 shots or 15 or 20 shots. Unbelievable resolution, just phenomenal. I've never been so impressed with a camera system. Beats hands down anything the Sony A7R IV produces, the GFX 100, I would even say Hasselblad and Phase, unless you go back to like about the 80 megapixel range with the top Schneider or Rodenstock lens in the world with a technical camera and multi-row stitched. But for a 35 millimeter camera, which has the highest rated sensor in the world, just astonishing. Couple it with a Leica Summicron 50 millimeter or the highest quality 80 millimeter lens or what have you, and this would be 2 or 3 times the quality that I'm seeing right now, which at that point it could only be absolute perfection.